Bahari makes his debut on Cage Warriors and faces Trojan free fighter PIOTR PTASINSKI, who earned Fight of the Night honours in London at Cage Warriors 48. Bahari is a product of Team Hellboy, headed by Hakeem Hansen, and comes with a perfect record achieved through an aggressive fight style. But PTASINSKI can also share that description of style, so expect these two warriors to collide.
Fighting for Cage Warriors is really awesome, for me, it's one of the biggest stage, and I will do everything to win this fight, and stay with Cage Warriors.
Yes, it's my debut fight in Cage Warriors, and I'm looking to make a very good debut fight and make an impression in this weight division.
Last fight on Cage Warriors, I very enjoyed that fight, and I think I done a really good job, I trained very hard for this, and I think in Cage Warriors you don't have easy fight, and I think I executed all my game plan, from the beginning up to the end.
Yeah, I've seen a few of his fights. He's got a strong chin, good cardio, decent boxing. Wherever the fight goes, I'm confident in his skills.
I can go to the ground, fight in the ground, I can stand up, yes, no problem. Anything, to finish fight earlier, I will do this,
I think overall I'm better in all the areas.
He's a good fighter, good stand-up, in my job will be go and win this fight, finish him.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, moving on tonight, 3 rounds, this in the welterweight division, and making his way to the cage first from England, PIOTR PTASINSKI.
Welterweight to join us is PIOTR PTASINSKI from the Trojan Free Fighters. He brings a record of 4-1 and is 28 years of age. He has enjoyed a perfect training camp and has been working on a few tricks for Bahari. PTASINSKI impressed in his first outing at Cage Warriors, outstriking Jacek Tozgalowski, but he is keen to add he is not just an accomplished striker, and I'm sure those other skills will be called upon tonight. PIOTR has aspired to fight on the Cage Warriors promotion for a while now and promises to take his chances so he can compete at the highest level.
Yeah, I mean, his last appearance at Cage Warriors 48 was the first time he's gone the distance. All his other wins have come in the first round. I mean, this guy is incredibly tough. He will keep marching forward, he'll throw in volume, and he'll throw with what particularly impressed, I think, both you and I last time, John, was just a variation in the combinations this guy was able to throw. I mean, rightly so, that fight with Jack Tozgalowski, got Fight of the Night at Cage Warriors 48. It was a phenomenal performance.
Yeah, absolutely. A very, very good vocabulary of strikes demonstrated on that night. But he's assured me he works in all ranges. Chico Mendes, as we can see in his corner, Paul Sutherland. These guys know what it takes to create champions, and he will be very well prepared, bringing his Polish MMA style and expecting a war from the very first round.
And his opponent tonight, fighting out of the red corner, making his way to the cage from Norway, here is MOHSEN BAHARI.
Welcome along to MOHSEN Bahari, representing Team Hellboy and coming with a perfect 4-0 record. He is 31 years of age. Team Hellboy are a top fight team with high-level competitors, and Bahari is a great capture for Cage Warriors, displaying a very nice striking game. The Norwegian enters the cage with a perfect record. He says that PTASINSKI will respect his leg kicks, and everybody in the welterweight division will know who I am after tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Bahari's had a little bit of a layoff, 16 months since the last time in his cage, in any cage, sorry, it's his first fight of 2012. He's only left the first round once, and that was only to go 44 seconds into the second round. I actually judged that fight, and he put on a great performance. This guy really is a prospect to watch out for. Just like the man he's fighting tonight, he comes forward very aggressively, throws in combination, and has tremendous finishing instinct.
Yeah, I've seen some training videos of Bahari, and he seems like a natural fighter. His defensive work's very good, his counter work's very good. It's very instinctive, something that seems to be a bit more natural.
Now, one of the interesting things about the guys coming out of Norway is mixed martial arts in its fully fledged state is still illegal for shows to be put on in Norway. So these guys all have to travel to get even amateur and semi-pro experience. So they're very accustomed to traveling. They know what it's like to be in an international environment. And, you know, MOHSEN Bahari is going to look to step up against PIOTR PTASINSKI here tonight.
So he's left the London Fight Store preparation point. Stands in the red corner, ready for his debut.
For 3 rounds of welterweight action in the cage. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist standing 6 feet even. Official weight, 170 1/4 pounds. As a professional, his record stands 4 victories with just 1 defeat. Fighting out of Worcester, England, here is Iron PIOTR PTASINSKI. And next, his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist standing 5 feet 10 inches tall. He weighed in 170 pounds even. As a professional, he enters the cage perfect. 4 victories and no defeats. Fighting out of Oslo, Norway, here is the undefeated MOHSEN Bahari. Referee in charge, Rich Mitchell.
Rich Mitchell, third man in the cage for this welterweight contest. Bahari and PTASINSKI are very explosive strikers. This could be a quick fight, although the Trojan free fighter is predicting a war from the very opening exchanges.
Early high kick from Bahari. We've seen him take a bit of time in his ranges and then explode forward. But early exchanges from these guys. No downtime to figure each other out.
Bahari dispatched of Leroy Barnes very quickly indeed.
A very efficient performance in that fight. Already seen some unorthodox combinations, the right hook, the right high kick, keeping that circular momentum going.
PTASINSKI was really turning on the heat when he forced last that Cage Warriors couldn't take out. Jacek Tokudowski so tough, but it made for a fantastic spectacle of a fight. This has all the makings of that again, Josh.
It really does. I mean, this is one of those fights where, you know, if you're watching the up-and-comers in particularly the European scene, you're salivating at these two meeting here in the cage.
And there's been a lot of strikes landed. Bahari's having some good success, and he's mixing up the high kicks very nicely. But PTASINSKI's so tough.
Heard the thud on that body kick as it was all shin landing, and these kicks are coming up very quick from MOHSEN Bahari. I mean, you know, a lot of times we can perhaps pull out some differences in training camps for these guys, but you know, these two both come from phenomenal camps. Team Trojan, Team Hellboy.
Oh, big right hand from
right
Bahari.
hand.
Just like he did against Leroy Barnes.
Yeah, I don't know if...
And he's swarming PTASINSKI here.
PTASINSKI trying to get back to his senses.
Knees, elbows and punches.
Oh, and responds with a big right of his own.
So very tough is the Polish fighter, but he is injured. Bahari looking to open him up with knees. Another big knee coming through, and the Norwegian smells blood.
Yeah,
how tough is PTASINSKI?
PTASINSKI's got to do something to just get himself some time here, because MOHSEN Bahari has really opened up on him in this first round.
He is enjoying his comeback to action.
Wow! Firing back is PTASINSKI. This is an incredible fight so far.
Bloodied and slightly battered, but full of fight is PTASINSKI. Bahari knows he's in for a long night, I think. How many of those strikes did PTASINSKI absorb and come back with some of his own?
Phenomenal display of toughness and chin from PTASINSKI, but he's not out of the woods yet. Still plenty of time for Bahari to work.
A big searching elbow over the top.
Every shot that whizzes by his head.
Bahari is unloading, blazing through the defences of PTASINSKI.
He's still firing back with shots of his own. Bahari can't afford to get complacent or let his guard drop or stop that head movement. It's still a huge variation of strikes coming from PTASINSKI.
This is a real example of the conditioning of the modern day fighter.
Oh, brilliant searching left uppercut, screw jab, found the mark. But his chin's starting to come up in the air a little bit when he backs up.
No ring rust from Bahari. as he sets this cage alight early on. Oh, and a very, very nice spinning back fist there from PTASINSKI.
Wow, what a round we're having. This is...
Bahari was backed up. Still coming forward though, wow.
They're calling for the uppercut as Bahari comes in.
Look at how these guys are wading through these
just
right
sitting
and
in the
left
pocket,
strikes.
swinging. I think
Kicks a little bit more laboured from Bahari.
PTASINSKI started to get his senses back about him now. I mean, this would be some turnaround and comeback if he can hang in the fight here.
Oh, and the left hand just touches the jaw.
Yeah, this could be it here. Oh, interesting choice to go for the knees from Bahari. He's climbing for the back. All this time is for PTASINSKI to regain his senses.
Well, this is what you would really expect from a Team Hellboy representative.
And it's PTASINSKI with the top position off the scramble.
But not that. Hellboy very strong in the grappling exchanges.
I think MOHSEN Bahari missed a trick there, trying to go for the back. I mean, the energy these two guys are throwing into this opening round is quite phenomenal.
High octane action in the welterweight division. Last 10 seconds. And then we can all take a breath. These guys are going to need it as PTASINSKI rains down with a couple of elbows.
He's been sat down twice, he's still ending in top position, throwing elbows.
That is a fantastic display of action.
Wow.
Well, some real striking skill. Look at how Bahari just slumps down.
He's just sunk down to his feet in the corner. Still standing is PTASINSKI. There's that spinning back fist.
Well, spinning hammer back fist. Just look at it.
Was straight left. That was 50-50 in the exchange, wasn't it?
PTASINSKI, yeah, was moving his body weight round and trying to recoil. He got clipped, touched his chin and went down. Bahari clearly with heavy hands, because we know that PTASINSKI's tough. He can clear his senses so rapidly, though.
I'm really curious to see who makes the better use of this minute's rest. Bahari looks tired already, sloshing water out of his mouth. PTASINSKI looks a bit more ready to go here in the second, which is incredible considering what he's just been through in the first.
Well, just clearing the excess water, giving these guys a much needed further few seconds of respite, because no doubt they're about to go toe-to-toe once more as we get involved in the second round here in Amman, Jordan. John Gooden and Josh Palmer calling the action. It's great to be back in the capital of Jordan in the summer heat, and the intensity is really raining down here.
Bahari's looking to parry and counter coming forward.
Cries of MOHSEN are raining around the arena. PTASINSKI is coming in with his chin a little tall. His corner have recognised it, asking him to tuck it a little. Bahari still looking pretty tight and composed.
Yeah, he's the one controlling the centre of the cage at the moment, but still pushing forward is PTASINSKI.
Centre of the cage. These two warriors standing toe-to-toe as PTASINSKI tries to impose his will once more.
I mean, I know we're talking about the chin of PTASINSKI, but he's landed a few very solid punches on Bahari, and Bahari doesn't seem too dazed as yet.
Both of these fighters slowing down. The head movements not quite as good. They're not quite as light on their toes. The movement is a little bit more vertical.
That straight jab starting to find a home for Bahari.
PTASINSKI looks intense.
Interestingly, neither one of these fighters choosing to try and put this fight on the floor at this stage. They're both content to stay on the feet and really slug it out here.
Well, perhaps Bahari, when he was loading up in that first round, has spent quite a bit of his energy.
I mean, it's a very fair assessment, John. I mean, it's one of those occasions where if you see that kill and you really rush for it, do you just get a bit carried away, you blow some of your fast twitch energy, and it really can turn around if you don't put the fight away there and then.
Looking for his second wind as PTASINSKI keeps coming forward. Good defensive work though from Bahari. Switching from orthodox to southpaw.
There we go here, Paul Sutherland shouting that the takedowns are available to him as well.
PTASINSKI's very upright though, Josh. It would be very obvious, I think, if he was to seek out.
He's so tired at this point.
There you go. Well, I don't care. I just can't get it right this evening, I'm afraid.
Commentator's curse is proving a bit much tonight. But with the good change of level and the pickup is PTASINSKI. Looking for an active guard is MOHSEN Bahari, searching for a triangle possibly. He's got that overhook on the right-hand side. Guard was open to be
good
attacking for a moment.
Good technique from PTASINSKI. He's answering the calls of his corner right now, pushing Bahari into the fence, making it uncomfortable.
Oh, very nicely done to step over that leg, but he's given a bit of a scramble for Bahari to turn this scenario around here.
Bahari is now looking for a high C.
Oh, big pickup from Bahari. This is the first time he's had a really good, solid, dominant position on the ground, but walking the cage beautifully to try and get some escape is PTASINSKI. North-south here for Bahari.
Perhaps a submission by Cup.
Interesting scramble in position here. Reverse mount. He's going to have to look to try and dismount to a side control or move round to an S mount here.
Leg.
So it's almost a reverse technical mount, which is a very interesting position, and just
stepping, moves,
stepping over, riding the hip, and
Block
the pressure through to side control. Very nice awareness from the Norwegian.
Oh, that was nice work too from PTASINSKI, just exploding to get that little bit of space to get his hips out. Oh, taking a couple of knees. That's an illegal knee there,
he's
surely.
putting his hand down.
Rich, no nonsense, Mitchell, straight in.
I mean, Bahari didn't realise PTASINSKI had played the game, put his hand on the mat. Oh, it's going to be interesting to see what Rich Mitchell does here, because PTASINSKI took 2 or 3 seemingly significant.
He's going to be given some time to clear his senses. He took a good couple of knees there, 3 points of contact with the canvas. I mean, and a warning is enough from Rich Mitchell.
I'm very surprised there was not a point deduction straight off the bat.
A lesser fighter would have been folded by those sorts of attacks.
Oh, good work from both guys there in the exchange.
Good close work there from PTASINSKI. He really does like it when they get just outside of dirty boxing, if you like, but certainly within the close ranges where elbows come into play. Very, very nice, diligent work there. And it's breaking down Bahari. Oh, there's a very nice 1-2 there. Combinations
good
from
work.
PTASINSKI.
Pushing forward.
There you can see him trying for those elbows, and there's an example of it. Brooklyn giving us the indication of round 3. Very tough one. These guys still bringing some decent pace. Paul Sutherland really not happy with the knees that his fighter had taken. It was good awareness by PTASINSKI to... some people don't actually like that, Josh, do they? They don't like the fact that a fighter could just reach for the canvas and all of a sudden make a strike illegal, if you like.
Yeah,
However,
I think
they're playing within the rules.
Well, I think there are motions to say that if you play the game, it's a bit of a grey area.
PTASINSKI's coming forward with a bit of reckless abandon. He got clipped with the right hand there.
He's clearly got a surge in this round. MOHSEN Bahari has never been to a decision. In fact, he's never really been out of the first round, so this is the first time we're seeing a long, extended battle from him, and it's a new experience for him. As PTASINSKI, of course, is coming off a 3-round war of exactly this sort.
That dude has got to tuck his chin. Bahari is finding a home on the chin of Ptasinsky. He's just hanging it out there.
Just shucking off that attempted tie clinch from Ptasinsky.
Quite interestingly, we can see that Ptasinsky has the range advantage, but he's opting to get that bit closer, to use elbows.
Yeah, he's given up the body lock here, though. See if Bahari can go to the back. He rolls from knee bar. Interesting decision for the Polish.
Oh, it still could be there.
Fighter. Yeah, there's good defense from Bahari. He's managed to triangle his legs. Unfortunately, that's going to leave Ptasinsky open to a lot of damage.
Yeah, that was that was not the kind of thing that I would have thought the fighter should be doing with over 3.5 minutes on the clock, Josh.
High risk maneuver. I mean, we've seen it work here on Cage Warriors before. I think it was Cage Warriors 46 in the Ukraine. Sitenkov hit a rolling knee bar on Neil Siri. But a very surprising move from him. I know within the UK, the Polish guys are kind of renowned for being, you know, the leg lockers within the grappling scene. But a curious move from the Trojan fighter there.
Fatigue setting in at Amman Jordan as we're in the final round of this welterweight clash. Ptasinsky, if you need reminding, is in the black shorts with Bahari in the whites. We see the toils of their labour, the marks of the war. Everything to play for still.
Ptasinsky is still the one pushing forward, trying to control the
Trojan free fighter corner is getting a little bit annoyed by the showing of fatigue.
Excellent takedown though, just came in, got a pick up on one leg and just ran through a couple of feet. Very simple takedown, but he's got to work the ground and pound here. He's got 2.5 minutes.
Ptasinsky really liking the use of those elbows. Getting enough there once again to throw down, but Bahari very composed. He's managing to do enough just to stop those elbows connecting.
Yeah, good work from Bahari to kick off immediately. Come up, shoot on a takedown of his own.
Oh, a few elbows going in on the takedown attempt. Well, Bahari abandons.
Yeah, made him give up that takedown fairly quickly. But good work from Ptasinsky.
We can hear the caveman shouting instructions in their native tongue of Polish, becoming very animated as things are getting more critical in this battle.
Yeah, Bahari landed a good short right hand there again. Is Ptasinsky pushing forward for this takedown, abandons the legs, aims to go high, but every time he reaches over the top, he gives Bahari more of a direct route to his back to just secure his body.
A big shot there from Ptasinsky. It hasn't worked out for him, and Bahari now pressuring up against the fence. A bit more intensity still coming from Ptasinsky in the last the last round and a half, I'd say. Bahari happy to counter. He's a lot more accurate with his strikes, however. It would be interesting to see the stats on how many shots landed, etc.
Yeah, I think that the more significant strikes and significant damage are coming from Bahari. The work rate is coming from Ptasinsky, and the aggression, the cage control to a certain extent.
Yeah, incessant with his forward pressure.
Oh, very interesting push-off knee there.
Yeah, getting the knee to meet the face. As Ptasinsky is running towards Bahari, looking to secure the head. Not quite there. Bahari looks like a man with an empty tank, however, just doing enough. Ptasinsky coming close with the elbows. I wonder if he's hurt his hand, Josh, because he's not throwing the straight right. I've got to stop saying, surely.
Wow, I mean, what a fun. I mean, I don't think I've seen two guys just how tough are these two guys?
Hugely tough. I mean, we know that Ptasinsky is really, really tough. We've seen the kind of work that he does. I mean, his corner are doing a nice job of keeping him motivated. He doesn't give up. You know, he keeps on coming.
I mean, regardless of what outcome we see here tonight, anybody who looks at fighting...
Here's that rolling knee bar attempt.
Anybody who looks at fighting either of these two guys has got to look at fights like this and just go, they're so tough, how am I going to put them away? You know, they really are a puzzle to solve. Good takedowns in that final round from Ptasinsky.
I think that Ptasinsky showed good demonstration of every facet of MMA tonight.
He really did, yeah.
I mean, we can say the same for Bahari, but Ptasinsky was the aggressor, and I think, although I've been proved quite a few times in this contest,
got a tough one here.
yeah,
really
they have. But let's see if the honours are going home to the Trojan free fight camp or to Team Hellboy, as Joe Martinez makes his way into the cage with the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the scorecards, and all 3 judges have it the same, 29-28. Your winner by unanimous decision, and still undefeated, MOHSEN Bahari.
So, the win going to the way of the Norwegian. A very interesting, perhaps I shouldn't have said anything, Josh. That was obviously very, very close indeed, but